Welcome to Spark Your Joy, Encounters with Spirituality and Creativity, a monthly podcast in which I, Eva Bojashka, will be interviewing international artists, filmmakers, musicians, sound healers, yoga teachers, wisdom teachers, creatives, about their life journeys and exploration of spirituality, creativity, and everything in between.
Welcome everyone to Spark Your Joy, Encounters with Spirituality and Creativity, and welcome to this first episode of 2023. I'm very excited to start this year with Day Collective, an Amsterdam-based artist duo, Yulia and Dorota, and my dear friends for a long time, with whom I've also collaborated in different occasions. And I'm very happy to be welcoming them today here with us at Spark Your Joy. And as I always like to do, is to let my guests present themselves. So I will first ask Yulia and Dorota to present themselves as Day Collective, and then maybe a little bit more about each one. Each one. Hello and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Evie, for inviting us. It's always a great pleasure to collaborate with you.
Thank you.
So we are an artist duo, Day Collective, and we've been working together with Yulia for the last 6 years. And our collaboration started already during the studies, so even before the Day Collective was born.
Yeah.
Yes. And after graduation, it was very natural to continue work together because of our mutual passion in exploring and connecting humans, us with each other, learning about consciousness and the huge world behind it. Before Rietveld, I did the studies at the University of Warsaw, and I was studying in the pedagogy department, the social culture animation, with the focus on multicultural education and education through art. And also the multicultural education was something that initially brought me to Amsterdam. And and the interest lied in creating peace and through different projects, and is still present in our practice. I studied graphic design and illustration before, and it was great, but I always missed certain interaction and activity, and I wanted to learn about video, and I applied for Rietveld, being sure that it will be video studies, and by accident it turned out to be all about conceptual art, and for me it was something what I never wanted to be in art world. So in the beginning I was disappointed, and slowly I fell deeply in love with art and the idea and magic that art can bring to human world.
Wow. You said that always one can learn new things. I didn't know that. I remember about video, but I didn't know that you were at this process.
So I was baptized in art.
Initiated. Oh, nice. And then, yeah, and then I remember your first collaborations at Ripple before you were the collective. But maybe, yeah, maybe if you want to share a little bit more what you do as a collective, yeah, I don't know anymore if you still identify or label your experiences, the experiences that you create as participatory performances, or yeah, so maybe you can better share with us. Not only, of course, you have sculptures and
Hmm.
mm,
Yeah, we indeed create different tactile, embodied um, forms, and these are the performances. And indeed, we label them still participatory performances. Often in our performances, there is no audience, but only participants. Sometimes there is also a spectator, and maybe we get to it later, but it's just interesting that since what the performance is an experience, then even there is a spectator, sometimes this presence of spectator dissolves, like it don't feel it anymore. Also for participants, which is really interesting. And then we also create indeed installations that consist of soft sculptures and abstract drawings.
In our experiences, people can learn about themselves, each other, and the environment in an alternative way beyond language, and in an embodied way, yeah, or in a sense spiritual way. Yeah, because it's open to the unknown. Yes, and in a sense our installations are also experiences, because this is not only material but also immaterial sphere. And now we make a project which combines both installation and the performance within this installation.
Yeah, it's a project we indeed developed in our last installation, Soft Edges. I mean, and it's still being in development. And it's the first project that also involves sound, like music, and movement, the rhythmical dance, and the interaction with and through soft sculptures. And the rhythmical massage. Yeah, we are very much interested in creating the connection in the space of awareness. And actually connection is already there, right? I mean, we believe that we are a part of this greater consciousness. And it's just a matter of opening it up and opening yourself up to it. Yeah.
Yes, and in this sense, one of the important aspects in our experiences is absence of words.
Yeah.
And in a sense, also abstraction, because everything is open to interpretation that goes beyond representation. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is what I wanted to actually ask you, because I feel like this personal kind of involvement with Tete with your project Tete, and I am actually also very grateful that you invited me to talk about it. When was it? Like 1-2 years ago now, in Amsterdam, in your exhibition at Gerringgracht in there, and basically, yeah, what I wanted to ask you maybe a little bit just to explain a little bit about this project. It's just my, my subjective attachment to it.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, we still continue this project, so yeah, it's
And then
it's ongoing. Hopefully forever. Forever.
Yeah.
Tête-à-tête is a conversation through drawing on your own skin. Very simple.
With only one rule, no words.
Yes.
And in this 1 hour conversation, our body is explored as a medium for the wordless dialogue. And we connect to our own body in a different, fresh way. And also connect to the others from this fresh perspective.
We discovered, that there are so many different possibilities of how you can communicate, as well as how you can connect different parts of the body together. It's like always magical.
And we, of course, have our language, body language, but we also very often operate in the same movements. And in tête-à-tête, you actually acknowledge indeed that, as I think just Yulia mentioned, there are so many more possibilities, that so many more moves and forms that come from us, and then also come from us in response to the other. And and then when we touch ourselves, when we communicate through drawing on the skin, we kind of really immediately land in a present moment. We become grounded, we become present in our body, and we become present with each other.
Yeah, we forget about basic questions of how we usually meet others, like where are you from, what do you do, how long do you live in this country, etc., etc. So this is out immediately, and something more important is present.
Yeah.
It is actually a great idea for a first date to relate in a different way.
Yeah, we had a few performances for St. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
3, yeah, and it was during Corona, so it was online, and quite great. Yeah. Oh, we should do it for this year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's soon. So everyone who's listening is in Amsterdam. Maybe he could consider something around St. Valentine's.
Yeah, with the presence of both of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And so basically, what you're saying kind of leads me to the concept of creativity and playfulness. Creativity is definitely also like one of the main topics in this podcast. So maybe if you want to share how you see creativity, what is it for you, and how is that? I mean, you already said a lot about how is that present in your work, but maybe a little bit about playfulness and
yeah. Creativity is something that characterizes everyone. It's an essence. It's a base. It's a life force
for every being, not even only humans, but also animals and plants, I would say, like really.
Yeah.
So we can all open up to this potential.
And creativity is also a surprise, and it's also allowing for being surprised. So it is also a certain state of openness And then it leads to the playfulness, which is also our natural state of curiosity
and joy.
and joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always about present moment because it's never planned in advance.
Yeah. And then when we think also indeed of working with our hands, like when we work with our hands, we are also present in the moment. Sometimes they say working with the hands, it's like a meditation.
So basically, so you went towards the body and the presence of the human body and your work. And actually, I would ask you, why is the human body important in your work?
Well, human body is, it's the whole consciousness is the whole human body. So it's all about letting it be on, opening up to the unknown. And it happens for us in our projects, not only in the performances but also in our drawings, because it's always unknown with yourself, even goes on, if you
and the thing is that like body is a container, but it's also a portal. So when we physically are in our body, then we also transcend our body. So we connect to this connect to this greater field of energy. So also in tete-a-tete, we draw on our body, but then you can really sense, I mean, okay, not everybody has to sense it. It's not so important, like, oh, you need to sense it, but that you feel that it travels beyond the body. You feel that you touch also these layers of subtle body and so on and beyond and beyond.
Yeah.
And but this is the entrance, the body. Yeah.
The entrance to a greater connection with yourself and the others.
Yes.
Yeah, and what is also very interesting is that during last 2 years of Corona, when there were a lot of lockdowns and we were isolated, which is like the scariest nightmare that couldn't be imagined in any horror movie. Yeah, that people could not be with other people. It's like so scary. And this possibility to meet each other via Zoom was the only way, which is also boring because people were talking and it's hard to listen. And then we thought about doing tete-a-tete online, and then it was beyond words, it was in silence, but then very tactile because you are with yourself and with others, and then you touch your own body, and then you are awakened at the same time, and you also experience the same from others when you see others.
You have an meditation, right? You are in silence, and the embodied perception and embodied way of connecting to the world around you is through your asana practice. So you have like or different embodiment practices, of course. It's not necessary to be only asana, but you have these aspects, and so it's interesting for me. Do you see that as spiritual? What is spirituality for you?
It's pure love. And it's the essence. It's the essence of life. And it transcends life.
It's energy that is invisible and that is always there, and it just also transforms like this, but it's always present. And it's very, I would say, important to keep up on the positive energy.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, but let's talk about transformation.
yeah. It's I don't know, it's just this feeling, you know, of feeling so grateful, like such a deep feeling of gratefulness and love that feels like this is just the essence, and that's just the only essence that feels like sharing through the practice, through the art practice. And it's just so obvious in a way, you know? But when you look around, what's happening around, like how much anger, how much sadness, how much fighting, how much things are happening, how much disconnection, how much labeling categories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just how to say, like distortion in energy. And I think that contributing with this great vibration of love has the transformational power, which we don't always see these effects like immediately. But
I think.
and that's
Sorry.
yeah. And spirituality is also joy. Spirit is joy. And yeah,
something that is beyond self, beyond this personal ambition, desire. It's pure, in addition to love, also pleasure. It's like all one joy.
And then it's also transcendence indeed, all this, like it is emotions, but it also transcends emotions.
And I would say it's also,
it's just this.
It's also pretty much obvious physics. Spirituality is physics, and it's all proven by all these laws and by scientists,
by quantum physics,
and also normal physics as well. If you
law of
do
attraction.
something good, you like plus attracts plus, minus attracts minus. So this is like clearly how it works as well. Electricity, we don't see electricity, right? But it works. Mobile phones, we speak with you from Spain. Is it magic? Is it spirituality? It's physics, right?
And
yeah,
no, I'm just thinking about purely the power of heart and connecting to the heart space, which it also can be measured, and it has incredible strength.
And that's actually what I wanted to ask you also. How can we contribute to making the world a better place? Which I also really like, is a question for my guests, because what we do, it has a purpose, and and basically, that's, I was thinking how your practice actually contributes.
You know, every little action can contribute. Everything which is super small can contribute to a better world, and it's just a matter of simply doing it. And art is also a very functional, in this sense, element. There are not only, I would say, doctors or soldiers who contribute to a better world, right? But art as well.
Yeah, of course.
And in general, we as human beings,
a core factor for change.
No, but I think it's really important to stay close to yourself and to take care of yourself and to nourish yourself through, just to nourish yourself in order indeed to nourish your energy and have your energy stream going.
Yeah.
Because in that way, when you are nourished and when you feel warm and good, then you resonate it around.
And you can share it with others.
Yeah. And at the same time, when you don't feel good, it's also important to acknowledge that it's emotion, like energy and motion, so that it can transform. And actually, creativity and embodiment practices are also the way for this transformation to happen. And it's important for us, like in our performances, to create a safe space where everybody is welcome to participate. Indeed, despite if you feel good or bad, you just can come. There's this quite famous talk, like come as you are, but really you can just come as you are. And when you connect deeper to yourself, to your inner navigation, to the intuition that, like, we are so used to live according to the recipes, according to the rules, according to what has to be done in which way, that we lose this inner compass, which is just something that we all have.
Which is actually, by surprise, works by turning off your reasoning.
Yeah.
And as long as you turn off reasoning, then it opens up or turns on. Yes.
Because there are different levels of consciousness, right? Like one is being conscious and being over conscious about everything, but then there is this like whole sea of consciousness that we call it unconsciousness sometimes, or this indeed, like when we turn off the reasoning, we enter to this space.
Yeah, and that is something also I find important in your work, that actually one can let go of rules that are established by society, and of course that can allow them to experience this playfulness, which is our true nature. And
and then that is like you are basically active creator also in these experiences. And I can say for myself that for me, tête-à-tête, which is this conversations for drawing on the skin, really opened up the space for drawing on paper.
Oh, yeah, that is true. That you have also, that is another form.
Yeah, and of course, like, I mean, I've been drawing a bit before, and I, like, before going to art academy, I was preparing and drawing, still life, etc. But yeah, it's somehow really from this drawing on the body and this conversation, this drawing on paper started. I was also welcomed by Yulia, like, to start drawing on paper. She was also welcoming me to join her road, which was already happening.
But together we started indeed with Corona, when we couldn't see each other, and this is also was for us an unconscious way of communicating, because sometimes we could show to each other the drawings, and they also resonated in a sense. And with drawings is also interesting, as long as, because you draw and then you turn off your thinking, and then something unknown happens, because you never know what will be on the paper. And of course, sometimes when it's hard and to turn off the reasoning, it never works somehow. That's something, can be not good appear on paper. And then and when you are off, when you are just simply enjoy the process, and you are just in the present moment, then it's always magical. It's really,
and it's also certain, like, surrendering to what wants to move through. But it's also important for us indeed that we start from a space of peace and calmness and openness. So also there is practices that we do, such as movement in nature, movement with trees, meditation through mantras as well, and then also the regular drawing practice. And we believe,
Sorry, no,
no, we believe also that that the drawings that we create are actually this energy, like this energy that is present in the moment of creation stays in a drawing, or rather is a drawing itself. And yeah, the essence is the same, but then it takes different forms.
So it's a peaceful, integral energy that you can also see, and keep it for yourself if you want. Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that maybe it's great to mention, like from my personal story, that that it's really not. It's not about having like an easy life and being just yay joyful and like it's yes exactly, but it can happen despite your life experiences. Like in my case, I when I was a young teenager, I lost my father in a car accident, and then we stayed with my mom and my brother, which were like I really experienced. I think that I feel very thankful that I experienced so much love in a childhood, like this really utopian, even you can say, loving parents, best friends, loving us, loving brother, and like really this container, like indeed that I had this like good base because our first years of life is that's when our indeed trust in the world, trust in ourselves gets created. So okay, the strong base was there, but then this big loss happened, and then a traumatic experience, and then also I had accident myself, and I felt so grateful that I'm alive, and actually thanks to the voice of my father that told me to make a baby pose, that people in the hospital, they were like, why are you smiling, you're gonna have very heavy operation on your knee, it's really bad. And I was like, but I feel so grateful I'm alive, like this. Yeah. I just think that the only thing that is later that is left indeed is love. And that it can heal so much, and it can bring this joy.
We are more or less at the end of our conversation. You can share what is coming up for you and project. What is it there to experience next month?
Well, we are just about to show our works coming Saturday, if you are in Amsterdam, 4th of February, from 10 till 6 in Jordan. You can check our website and the collective. It's a collective exhibition with our dear friends, Pauline and Aryan. And it's only one day.
Which space?
It's actually it's an anti-crack space. It's a church.
Oh, cool!
Very beautiful Spanish church.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we also have on the 6th of February we have the full moon movement session. Every month, like since August, we organize together with our teacher. I mean, ex-teacher from Roosevelt. We collaborate, and it's also the experience without words. The only person which is using words is Pin. She's leading the meditations, indeed, to make you come to your body and warm up for the movement. And in the session, we are moving with the rhythm of nature, with the elements.
Beyond whatever weather is.
In any weather.
That is something to consider in Poland.
Yeah, but yeah.
And then we go to Brussels in the beginning of February
to symposium about play.
System of play and self-organization in the play.
Yeah. And later we have in March the exhibition. Now we have a window show in the pipe. You can see our selection of our drawings and sculptures just while walking on the street in a window. And in March we're gonna have one day exhibition in the space
in the beautiful house of Esther Eva.
Yeah, and it's called Practices of Care. the series of expo, and it's a series of expo, so our exhibition is one of a few. So
we will show Softage's work.
Yeah. And we are also really pleased to host an exhibition of our dear friend and collaborator Altan, and she's a Mongolian lady, and she's gonna show here Dreams of Mongolia series of paintings
in our studio.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So it's for us first time that we are hosting an exhibition of someone else, so it's a very special moment as well. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I wanted to mention also for the people who are listening and maybe following me that we are hosting and leading a retreat together, collaboration. It's called the Conscious Creative Retreat. And it will take place on Costa Blanca, where I live, close to Moraira, in a luxurious villa with a sea view and a sunset view. A very beautiful place in which we will offer, from my side, practices of yoga, meditation, yoga nidra, pranayama. So, the spiritual practices, and from your side, also spiritual practices, art embodied experiences, tete-a-tete, and nomadic, and
picnic.
Nomadic picnic, and well, maybe now that we develop in time, maybe you can add on. But I'm sorry, but the
No, amazing. Yeah, I mean it's very small retreats, because even like the energy of a huge group is amazing, but our practices are for small groups.
Yeah.
And they create this intimate atmosphere, and there is a focus on each and everyone in the experience. And it's 6 days together, and you are really welcome to come and nourish yourself and open up the creative stream, which we all
and explore your embodied being in the world.
Yeah.
That actually connects you to who you truly are. I believe.
Yeah.
My experience. So it will be a very nice experience. And this you can see on my website. It's up there. Also, if you feel like knowing how creative you are, you can also head over to my website to the quiz, how creative are you, and find out and receive a little free present to help you stay connected to your creative self. And about the art practice and events of the collective, I will write down in the description their website, where you can find more information, and you can connect with them. And I think that I want to say thank you really for joining.
Thank you for inviting us, Ivy.
Yeah. No, and I think that I just wanted to say a sentence that, of course, spirit is breath, spirit is wind, spirit is movement, spirit is energy, it's just life, flow.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for your words, last words, and for being here today. And I'm looking forward to see you maybe in Amsterdam first, and then
Great.
our creative retreat. Thank
you.